You are watching California's Truth. I wasn't planning on making a video about this, but the circumstances of this topic were not predictable. So far, there is not much information about the incident. Only few people even know about the accident. Bomber 139. First of all, what do we think about when we hear the word bomber? We usually associate them with massive multi-engine aircraft dropping explosives on a target. This bomber doesn't drop explosives. This bomber drops a red chemical mixture called phosgene. Phosgene is a fire suppressant. The aircraft, Bomber 139, a modified Boeing 737-300, owned by Coulson Aviation, is a water bomber. One of 6 737 Fireliners owned by Coulson Aviation. On Sunday, February 6, 2023, at around midnight Pacific time, or around 4 p.m. Western Australian time, I was on Flight Radar 24. I was watching Bomber 139 alongside a C-130 fight a brush fire in Fitzgerald National Park in southern Western Australia. Bomber 139 had performed 3 phosgene runs on the fire that day. Its first and second run, typical, almost identical. But on its third run, things were different. The data provided was taken from Flight Radar 24 and could be possibly inaccurate. While conducting its third round, the aircraft circled the blaze 3 times. Supposedly, half the plane's phosgene was dumped on its first loop. It supposedly dropped the second half on its second loop. I say supposedly because the data has not yet been confirmed by the ATSB. What we do know is that while climbing out of its second loop, the plane started climbing quickly, reaching around 1,800 feet. From around 600 feet, the speedometer said the plane lost a lot of speed and started going into a slow descent. The plane then dived from 1,800 feet to 1,000 feet. The final data I saw was the plane at 625 feet going 100 knots. Then Bomber 139 went off radar. I would find out the next morning that the plane I had been watching had indeed crashed. I was grateful to hear that the pilots had survived with only minor injuries, according to Associated Press. As of right now, both pilots were discharged from hospital and are now recovering in Perth. I had found out the pilots had survived before I saw the picture of the wreck. I was originally thinking the plane had belly landed in the trees and was possibly even salvageable. When I first saw the pictures, I was stunned that the pilots had made it out of there. These pilots were lucky. Back in 2020, a C-130 owned by Coulson nosedived into the ground in New South Wales, killing all 3 on board. If it wasn't for the quick thinking of the 2 pilots of Bomber 139, we would be mourning right now. So far, the ATSB has not even gone to the crash site due to the brush fire nearby. There are no clear indicators of what made the plane crash. I'm not an air crash expert, but by looking at the data from Flight Radar 24, it's possible the massive jet could have stalled and not had enough time to recover. But what may have caused this supposed stall, I cannot say. So for right now, we should be happy the pilot survived. But we need to take advantage of the fact that we got lucky with this incident and find out if future crashes can be prevented by it. We got so lucky, in fact, it would be fair to call it a miracle. And this was the miracle of Bomber 139. Thank you for watching. I promise to update you guys when I find more data on this incident.